I can redo all of that.
Sorry if was my mic not coming through there? Apologies. I didn't realize I had it muted. You guys should be able to hear me now, though, yeah? Yeah, okay. Of course, it is the one time where I do not actually do an audio check at the start of the stream. That's how it always goes. So I will restart everything I just said because I was talking to myself apparently. So yeah, hello everyone. We're back with the Team Star doing some PS4 stuff. We're going to be doing something a little bit different today than what we've been doing. The past 4 days we've been doing collaborative, working on the same code, and trying to come up with strategies and stuff. Where we have a lot of the pieces put together of how Sliersgovi's POCs work. And for those who weren't here for the last stream, we ended up coming at a crossroads where we had a few different exploit strategies in mind. So what we're going to do today is Teamstar is going to take one strategy and try to implement it. We're going to test that. And I'm going to be working on a different one at the same time. So he's also going to be streaming on Twitch for those who want to see his view. Do you have that going yet, or is that... Not yet.
Not yet. I'm actually trying to get Visual Studio first. Can you reset me?
I can, yeah. So, yeah. So I believe you're gonna work on the method of getting the cache released back to the general allocator for corruption. And
it's not a cache.
Or sorry, what's the word? Zone, I guess.
Page?
Yeah.
Zone?
Get the zone released to the general allocator. And I'm going to be working on a race strategy. So I think that'd be cool to do both strategies. It's a bit of a mix-up from what we've been doing, and if one of our strategies hits a roadblock, then at least we have the other strategy to fall back on, and there's already kind of progress made there. So it's like multi-threading, but with streamers. So I think that'd be cool. So Teamstar stream hasn't gone up yet, but he will do that at a later point. He's just getting VS Code set up.
So VS Code runs, and I think it's Terminal 3.
So I have on the second view, the Python 3.9. That's where I have UART going.
Yeah, I think that seems to be
okay.
working.
So you can see that and copy from it and everything. Yeah, I'm just scrolling through the menu to put stuff in there. But yeah, you should be getting all that, so. Nice that we got that working. That'll make testing for you a lot easier, so. Alright.
Although one thing, this is kind of weird. Like the terminal's really cropped for me.
Oh, is it? I have it kind of cropped off to the right of my screen, but...
Yeah, I can see that. All right, we will figure it out.
So, I will quickly mention as well, we put out a discussion video on the Day Zero YouTube channel. It was a really interesting discussion. I think it would be interesting to a lot of you, so I will quickly go ahead and get the link for that, for anybody that's interested. Oh, actually, yeah, let me put it in through here, because that's the way I got it. Yeah, so I thought I'd quickly plug that. We did a little video on speculating on the future of exploit development, so yeah, Z and I really like that video, so. Now that that's out of the way, I think I will quickly talk about what our strategies are and do a bit of a catch-up from the last couple streams. So we figured out that Sliersgovi's POC was basically, he was hitting a double free on the M buffs. So let me just go into the actual issue just to recap a little bit. So the issue from Flo's report is this IP6 extended header check. Basically, when dealing with packet fragmentation, it tries to pull an M buff up if it has enough room before chaining it. And it gets dropped. The remote packet gets dropped as there's not enough space. But for a packet received from the loopback, it tries to call that pull up and rearrange it. But when it does that, the previous M buff was freed, and that fact isn't accounted for in many paths in the code. So you can either trigger a double free a write after free, or a read after free. So what Slurs Govey is going for is the double free, I believe through the routing, Route 6 input. But the problem is, when you double free an mbuff, let me just pull up what an mbuff looks like. So this is the mbuff structure, all in all. So this is in its own zone. You can't just smash it with like ioctl or something like that. So only mbuffs are going to end up in that piece of memory. And the only things that have useful data to smash are the packet header and the extended header. So these are like the ideal things you want to hit, and this is what Slurs Govey hits. The problem is, when you try to overlap a packet, you're going to overlap the entire mbuff. You can't just do a partial overlap or something. So you're going to be hitting the header and taking the flag off that makes these headers actually get used. So you can smash them, but then the headers aren't going to get used. Or you can not smash them and let the header get used, and then you get nowhere. So in order to deal with that, he makes it so the mbuff zone, or the page that's allocated full of mbuffs, gets released back to the general allocator so that it can be sprayed with an arbitrary heap spray. Now that is a tricky strategy. We went over, actually, Teamstar, your slides. You had some slides from iOS where you took us through how that works a little bit. Anybody who's interested in the more thorough breakdown should probably check the tail end of our last stream where we went through that. But yeah, I mean, it's a complex strategy. It requires applying a lot of memory pressure in order to get those zones released. And that's where Slurs Govey has been having trouble, from what I understand. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to do a race condition to hit the double free, or a write after free, whichever one I decide to go with, to try to make it so one thread gets past the flag check, but it would use the corrupted header after the other thread smashes it. So I know Teamstar is a little bit, skeptical about the race and how stable that would be, and that's totally fair because race conditions are fickle by nature. Ultimately, though, I think it will probably be easier than the cache release, at least for me. So it'll be interesting to see where we go. So,
can I quickly interrupt you? Do you know how to disable Twitch chat? Is that a thing?
I believe you can do it in the dashboard, or you can make it like subs only or something too.
I think I did. Can you verify?
So on my other browser window, I'm not logged in, but I can try to log in really quick just to see.
You don't potentially you don't even need to log in.
Yeah, you need to log in the chat.
Oh, because if you're not logged in.
Yeah. RZG34, thank you for coming in with the Twitch Prime. Welcome in. First champion of the stream. But yeah, I think as soon as you switch it to sub only, it should be all good.
It says it's follow only right now. People still can chat. I don't know. Okay. Probably don't even care.
So your stream is up and running. Do you want me to link over to it?
You can.
Okay.
Sure. So I've already 6 people watching.
Okay. People are saying you're coming in a little bit quiet, so I'm gonna quickly turn you up before anything else.
All right. So I enabled the screen.
Okay. That should be better, hopefully.
Do this.
All right. So anybody who wants to check out Teamstar's view, I just put the link in chat. If you'd like, you can do like a dual screen view, so you can see his screen and what I'm doing, and I think that'd be fun. For me, under chat, there is a cog and a disable chat option. Dual screen? Yeah, we're doing dual screen.
Under chat, there's a cog and disable chat option. That might be like that you don't want to see the chat, but
I'm thinking it's client side. I don't think it's for the entire stream.
All right, participants, shared terminal, shared. So I can see some of your stuff.
Oh wow, you are coming in pretty low. Let me just adjust that really quick. I thought I turned you up enough, but I guess I didn't. Okay, talk for a second. Just like
Test 1 2 3.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
I found
I think
the
that
files.
should be better.
Exploit Teamstar. All right, let's get my hands dirty.
All right, so I have two different files set up for me and Teamstar. So I think before we get into implementing the strategies, both of us want to clean up these files a little bit because they're absolutely totally messy.
Actually, could you get me like a minimal cleanup thing? Because I don't even know what I can delete and what I can't.
Okay. Mostly like the commented out code is just old shit that is probably not relevant anymore. So
like, where is even the start? Like, is it stage 1 and that's where we start?
Yeah.
Start.
Yeah, so stage 1 is just like the initial socket creation. Stage 2 is setting up the functions, like the p.send packet and p.fragment packet and all that stuff.
So everything from stage 1 I can like straight down everything I can delete? Potentially?
Well, I'd say stage 1 and stage 2 you probably want to keep, because those are all like the primitive functions. Stage 3 you probably also want to keep because that sets up the loopback socket. Stage 4 is where the exploitation stuff is.
I deleted everything.
You deleted everything? Oh, okay, that works too.
Yeah. Okay, I may want to look at the backgrounds because I don't know what I'm doing.
I mean, I'm just going to modify down from stage 4 because that's where the double free and everything happens, so.
Yeah, I want to check a few things before that, actually.
Tell Teamstar to type in /subscribers in his chat. Okay. That's a command, I guess, to make it sub-only mode.
/subscribers. Yeah. I think I did something with the chat. Let me see.
I highly suggest a squad stream. Okay, I'm interested. Let's see. I want to see what this is.
Subscribers. Ah,
this is a new thing.
Thanks. Whatever the fuck that does. Yeah, Baikal011 stream. Thanks for the info.
You can share the views and spectators? Oh man. Okay.
What's that? Is that highly complicated stuff that we potentially want to use at some point?
Yeah, I'm just looking into it. You can basically invite somebody to a squad stream, it would seem, and then that'll enable a banner on the channel page to allow people to watch in squad mode, which will do the, I guess, the merging for you. I think I've actually seen this before for CSGO tournaments. I think they've used that.
Nice. I need this link where
squad stream only works for partners. No. That's what I thought, because I saw CSGO tournament organizers use it, but I haven't seen anyone else use it, so I figured it must have been an exclusive thing. All right. Thanks, Blika. Helpful all around.
Do you have Slayer's Govies POC? Cause wait, we have it in the thing.
Yeah, I have it in POC.c, I think. Slayer's POC.c.
Oh, that's handy.
Got everything set up. All right.
Okay, so there's something I wanted to try.
So I'm gonna get rid of all of this shit because this is not relevant anymore.
I don't remember what I wanted to do. Okay, no, I think I do remember.
Do I have uSleep defined already? Yes, I do. Perfect. Don't need this anymore. Okay. So I have my file cleaned up sufficiently, I think. I kept all the setup code and I just removed the stuff after the double free. So yeah, I think I'm happy with the way I have it right now. If you want to copy mine.
I mean, I want to test like the primitives first.
Okay.
How do I get a UDP? Oh, here it is. UDP socket, socket UDP.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to work out the details of what race I want to target. While I do that, just let me know anytime you need me to run a test, and I'll run that. You should be able to get the results immediately through UART.
Sure.
All right.
All right. So, brace.
So we've got Watson open. So first I'll look at routing, because double free seems like it might be the best thing to target with the race. Is this the right function?
Do I need to worry about freeing memory? Do you have like a free primitive for your malloc?
No, because the way the malloc works is it creates a uint32 array in JavaScript and corrupts it. So that would get cleaned up by the garbage collector, but you couldn't force a free of it, I don't think.
Oh, so I don't need to worry running.
Yeah, you shouldn't need to worry about that. All right. So we're getting some interesting things in chat. Some people saying sound is fine. Some people saying sound is low. Z, I need you to be the judge, I think, of if it's fine, because I don't want to be playing ping pong with the audio here. I think it sounded fine when I unmuted this sound for a sec. So if I want to raise myself, that would be good. Okay, I'll raise myself a touch. Okay, hopefully that's a little bit better. All right, so let's look at the routing input function, see what we have here, and where we might want to target a race. So this is our UAF point, the extended header check. This is the buffer. IP6. Original Deranged Monkey, thank you for the sub. Welcome in. So M2D, I'm going to bring up the mbuff previous man page because I'm pretty sure that gets the data, but I need to double check that. Converts an mbuff pointer to a data pointer. The macro expands to the data pointer casted to the specific type. Zoom in so it's not tiny for people on stream. All right.
Oh yeah, how's my screen resolution? Is that readable?
You might want to make the font a bit bigger.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better for sure. Nice. The sound might be because of time zones. At night, the sound will feel louder than at the daytime. I mean, that's not false. The sound does travel better at night because there's less, we're doing science, okay?
Oh, so that's how it works. Wonder if this gives me a socket. Far.
So, RH, where is this used? This actually looks... This doesn't look right. Why does this not look right?
All right, can you run a test? I'm super test driven.
I can. So, you have your test up and running here. All right, let me.
Oh, do you gotta copy and paste that every time?
Oh yeah, it's not too bad though. It'll be fine.
Oh, well.
I could script up something to do it better for a later stream. But yeah, there's your test.
Okay, sounds good. Looks good.
All right. So this is not, I don't think this is the right function. I think maybe it is the right function.
I think I will be terribly bad at like talking while coding, because I don't think that's possible with 2 people on the stream. So I'll let you do some more of the talking.
It is difficult.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard enough to talk if you're coding like on one thing alone, like with 2.
Yeah, it's tough. I agree. Okay, so RH is used.
Can you bind to one socket and like send to itself? No, that doesn't make sense. I need 2 sockets.
Yeah, you would need a server end, I think. Okay. In the following 2 subroutines, double pointers pass, but it's not updated. I'm just refreshing myself in the double free a little bit. These are parsers of extension headers. Okay, so let's look at this function really quick. A double pointer is passed but not updated. Okay. I hate that Watson does this.
Okay.
So is it the free M that uses the extended packet header? Still coding 5.105. I missed the previous stream, so couldn't view the progress. Yeah, we're still testing on 5.05. Once we have the exploit actually working, porting it up is generally not too bad. It's just getting to that corruption. Yeah, so I believe this is where it uses the extend header. MB free extension. Oh, it's not going to the line.
We did have functionality to figure out what port we're binding at, right? Or does bind tell you by chance what port it binds?
No, we used it's probably in one of the backups. It's get port that we used.
Get port, yeah. Oh, that's handy. That's p.get port.
Yeah, backup 7 and 8 have it.
Okay, yeah, found it.
All right. Yeah, this is where it gets used. Okay. So do I have that still open in the strat file? Or in Sublime, rather? No, I don't think I have it anymore. Right? This is, yeah, this is something else. Okay. So I'm going to make a new file that contains the code relevant to my strategy here. So we want this, first of all. Then we have M free M. M free. And then MB free extension. This is where I think the focus point of my race is going to be.
How do you code.
Don't need these line numbers.
Project. Test.
Okay. Let's space this out a little bit so it's a bit more readable. Okay, so what happens in this double free case? Let me just double free path. So this IP6 extended header check function gets called. It calls the m-free-m. This can get called twice because the double pointer isn't updated, which leads to the double free on the mbuff. Now m-free-m, when it goes down to the mb-free extended, it will check for the extended header. And this is where we want to get control, is on the extended free function pointer. So on this is kind of where we want to race, I think. I just want to think it through for a second. Because if we have... I think we have...
How do you call UDP server C? Let's Google how to do UDP servers.
So...
Oh, there's send to... Oh, right, you don't connect UDP. Wait, why do we call sysconnect? What does it do?
let me take a look at the code so I can see.
Like, I'm looking at backup 8.
Connect to the socket preemptively so we avoid racing. Oh, that's the spray socket that we bind to localhost, yeah?
Yeah, but you don't connect on UDP, or am I tripping?
Why am I...
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because like you connect on TCP, but on UDP, like there's no such thing because you don't have state.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that.
And
Yeah, because you
neither-
just have to bind and then you send and receive. You don't have to do the handshake process of TCP. So, yeah,
Fuck do we
actually, yeah, we might
connect?
not need that connect. I'm not sure why we use that. Although the connect succeeds. So
What's it even
I don't know.
doing?
I don't know exactly what it's doing, but I know it's. I remember it succeeds from our logs. But you could probably cut it out because I agree. I don't remember what it was. Why we would need that.
We do have a send. Oh yeah, we do have a send to socket buff size.
I think connect just binds the socket to a port. No, that's what the bind function is
No,
doing.
that's
Yeah.
bind.
Yeah, that's binding it to the localhost address that we set up, but yeah, the connect shouldn't be necessary. All right. Yeah, I'm just trying to think through my strategy here, because if we have a use after free, how could we potentially race this properly? We would have to... Let me bring up another panel here to try to lay out my thoughts. Race conditions get tricky when you try to like actually methodically work through them. What are we hacking? What's the main goal? We're trying to get a PS4 kernel bug exploited to get code execution. If the socket sockfd is of type sockdgram, then address is the address to which datagrams are sent by default and the only address from which datagrams are received. Yeah, that's not really relevant to why connect is needed though, because we've already set up an address with bind. So I am breaking my head trying to remarry the drive of my PS3 60GB. I'd never tried drive remarrying, so I've never experienced the pain, but I've heard it's not fun. All right. So we run double free. This leads to one nbuff gets allocated with extended header, one without extended header. The second thread, we want to so that's going to get triggered on the receive. So we want to receive one packet. Where can I find the actual bug? Oh yeah, there you go. Bug command. Sometimes we have the commands in the title. I think we forgot about that today. Apologies. Z, I don't know if you have those commands handy and can maybe add them into the title. I know we had it last time. I think that was helpful. They are in the title? Okay, they're not for me. Maybe I just need to reload the page. Okay, yeah. Sorry. They're in the title now. I just needed to refresh. IP6 or IPv6? IP6 is what I'm going off of from the XNU report.
Where is sock header in defined?
I'm at the end of the road. The hard part is done. That will give me more experience to share. Nice. Oh, IP6 isn't a typo? Yeah, I think it's synonymous with IPv6. It might be like XNU or Apple that calls it that, or BSD or whatever. Gotta love the use of double terms or reuse of terms so often in kernel. So yeah, I'm just trying to work through how I want to do this race, because the race would actually happen on the double free if I want to target this path. Okay, maybe I take back what I said. Maybe the right after free path would be better. Because you're dealing with a lot less noise that way, I think.
Is there a thing as write to for the write primitives?
Write to, sorry, what do you mean?
Yeah, we have write 4, write 1 is write to thing.
Yeah,
it is. It is.
Where do you see that, sorry? When you said it is?
In exploit.teamstar, it's an added primitive.
Oh, yeah, okay. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the right after free primitives in the in the report.
No. Okay, so
as if IPv6 was too long of a name.
it's 1, 2, port. We want to send. How the fuck? Oh, how do I do shit?
So let's evaluate the right after free path. So this writes into the address. which we can somewhat control, although it's a really bad write. So this frag6 input right after free is basically a 0-byte write to the address, which is probably useless. And it's actually a 6 address 16. Let me just verify the type of that, but I think it's useless regardless. TCP var 6, would it be in? No. No, it wouldn't be in here. No, it's not in there either. All I'm finding are type defs. I need the actual structure definition. But I cannot find it. Okay. This is one thing I really dislike about FreeBSD, or like just BSD in general, is it can be hard to find structure definitions sometimes because of weird macros and shit that they use. This is not right either. Is it in the man page, maybe? That does not match up with IP6 source. Oh, IN6 address. Okay, I see.
All right. Can you... So userland.js is for copy and paste overriding?
It is, yeah. That's our scratch file for
right.
what to test.
Can you test?
Okay, should be ran.
Okay, got a type error and an unexpected dump.
Why is it not... I was already on this page. Okay, I just gotta go back to Watson, I guess, to try to find this structure. I just want to verify how large the type is, I guess. Okay, so in 16, they're UN16s. That's what they're saying. So they're short bytes. Okay. So it's a 2-byte null write. So pretty shit, honestly. Yeah, do try to keep the chat English only, guys. We're an English stream.
All right. Can you rerun?
Okay.
So you can't find variables, praise socket address.
ICMP v6. What kind of write primitives does this give us? Okay, this gives us a 2-byte write of zone ID, which we may or may not control. 2-byte write though still, so kind of garbage.
Right, rerun, please.
Yep. It's been 5 days and you still don't have the correct.
Find variable.
What's that?
I'm suck at writing
no
code.
Worries. I still
really
do the same shit.
Stupid issues.
Belika, it's been 5 days and you still don't have the correct struct. We've been looking at the different... There's a lot of different structures involved with mbuff. Depending on how it's...
Rerun, please?
Because there's so many unions used, it's possible that, like, 4 different fields can be used as structs. So that's why it's a little bit confusing to try to work through it. It's why I hate unions. Although it's kind of working to our advantage here because this might not be exploitable if it wasn't for unions. But yeah, I mean, you have a union right here with the data. You have another union right here with more data for packet header, extended header. The headers in themselves have other child structures. It's fun, trust me. All right. So this also doesn't offer anything. These set scopes. So these right after freeze are really bad. I was thinking the right after free might be a good way to go for the race, but I actually don't really see how it can be used, because the first one is a null 2-byte write. Second one is a 2-byte write that we might or might not control. Third one is the same thing. Fourth one is also the same thing. So at best, you get a 2-byte write you might control, and it's not a arbitrary 2-byte write inside of that buffer. It's at a fixed location.
I'm so stupid. Should be fine.
Hey, Angel Dabble, how you doing? Alright, so yeah, right after freeze are looking pretty unviable right now. There might be a way to use them, but I don't see a good way. So we'll switch over, I guess switch back to the double freeze, which kind of sucks, but it's going to be tougher to manage, that's for sure. Because I think you would basically have to run the function that deals with double free twice in 2 different threads, I think, to get them to overlap. So or you could maybe do I'm gonna run this by you, Teamstar, real quick, actually. So in the double free path, what if I just exploited it as a use after free? In the way that I exploit the free routine in itself.
Wait, you're talking to me?
I just wanted to run that by you to see if that makes sense, or if I'm like just off my rocker.
Okay, say it again.
So with the double free path, right? What if we use that path, but it's not, we don't use it as a double free, we use it as a use after free. In the way that we exploit the free path to get code execution, without worrying about like the double free aspect at all. So you get the free ones, and then on the next use, when it would be the double free, instead of triggering the double free, we trigger it higher up or something. That makes sense, right?
It honestly, it does not make sense to me at all. Because
okay,
there is I don't see how you would exploit it differently than having it as a use after free. Like, what does it even mean, like not exploiting it use after free?
Not exploiting it as a double free, but still exploiting the use after free.
What does it mean, not exploiting the double free?
So the double free happens because of the use after free, right? The double pointer gets passed, so it'll take the pointer for one packet and free it, and then it'll take the same pointer again and free it. What I'm thinking is exploiting in between that, so that you exploit the second time it goes into the free, exploit something there instead of leveraging the double free afterwards like we've been trying to do.
I don't think this is viable. So if you remember, the whole issue was that you have like this pointer points to a struct which has a type field which says it's either a buffer, like the struct subfield, which is either a buffer or a struct which with a pointer, and you can not really have it to be something useful in there, saying it's a struct while still controlling the data, because that would be a bug on its own. So really the primitive we have here is, like, I think the best primitive we have here is the fact that we can get a dangling pointer there. But as soon as we manage to get the dangling pointer to that thing, like I think we need to switch the zone.
So, what my thought process is with racing it though, is if we race a thread in between the double free, and we reallocate in between the first part of the double free and the second part, when it goes to use the second part of the double free, it uses something that we corrupt, and maybe we get past that header check with the timing, where it validates that it's an extended header, but we can smash the extended header with the other thread.
Have you even found the piece of code where there actually is a reasonable race window?
Yeah. So I was kind of laying it out on stream a little bit. The MB free extended, which is called in the double free itself through IP6 extended header check. That's where it uses that function pointer, the MX ext free. But it does.
Didn't you say that all this mbuff stuff is handled on a separate thread?
No, I don't believe so.
Are there even two threads to race each other? Is that even a thing?
I think it I think it should work. Unless I'm forgetting something important, but I don't remember anything about it running on its own thread. Maybe I'm misremembering something though.
I'm not entirely sure, but there was vaguely something in my head that thing runs kind of in a separate thread, but I might be totally wrong here. Because if it does, then you don't even have two threads to race in first place.
Yeah, when I work through it, I guess I'll see if I encounter that.
Anyways, I think I can't quite follow your idea, but you should figure out the easiest way to test one of your like ground assumptions.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Pulling in a chat, Spectre is a Factorio player, the Blue Circuit Discord profile picture. Yeah. I do like Factorio. It's a fun game. And the Blue Circuit icon just looks very cool. So yeah, I've had it as my Discord picture for a while. But I was actually working on a Mega Factory like a couple days ago, a little bit. Hopefully I'll get it finished one day, probably by like 2023 or something.
Damn it.
What is XNU?
I think
that's the macOS kernel, I guess, right? Yeah, and iOS kernel.
Yeah,
although iOS is like a fork or something. It's a bit weird when you get to Apple stuff.
Oh yeah, remember the weird picture I showed you?
Cool surprise soon from one of my friends and from Chendo. Okay. Zeko coming in with a bit of a tease in chat. I have little love for Apple stuff. I mean, it's cool to, like, from a technical standpoint, how much you have to work with. Like, I've always found Apple subsystems, like their, IPC, like, voucher shit, and their entitlements and all that stuff. Like, I find those subsystems cool.
I think they are pretty cool.
Like, they're unique. You don't really find those types of subsystems in anything else. So, I definitely see the allure of iOS for that aspect.
What's the difference between... Oh, this is how that works.
Unique, special. Okay, I'm not trying to shill for Apple products. I'm just saying some of their subsystems are cool. From a, reverse engineer or exploit developer standpoint. And that's why people like Ian Beer are over there tearing it up, because they're looking into those cool subsystems. Nah, Spectre's always shilling Apple privately. Z's out here exposing me.
Can you rerun a test?
I'll run it now.
Oh, finally, I can send and receive packets.
Kernel exploitation, you had my curiosity, now you have my attention. It's fun, except for when it's not.
Had his attention like 5 streams ago. Where the f do I get this? Oh, this dump. I don't need this dump.
Pull up succeeds, nodes of the mbuff chain that covered the limb bytes are freed. Then the new head of the mbuff is returned. Then it's assigned. Teamstar spreading us the COVID over the internet. The new tech in the M1 processor is good, and they get some good stats out of them. Yeah, they've just been kind of let down by their software. From what I've seen, the amount of paging to disk that happens on the new M1 Max is absolutely absurd, and it's burning out the SSDs. There's people who have had their M1 Max
for... I've seen that. What's
yeah,
that?
they've had their M1 Max for like a month, and there's like tens or hundreds of terabytes written to the drive, and like 10% of its lifetime is expired.
How did you even get like these stats? Because I've tried to get them on my Mac, and I didn't know how to do so.
It's the smart information. I don't know if...
Do you know how to do that?
I don't know if macOS has their own smart.
Smart. Do I have Brew installed? Oh, I don't. Because like my other MacBook I used for some stuff with where I had to process so much data. Like I have literally 16 terabyte of data left from that.
Oof.
Yeah, anyways.
People asking really with the M1s. Yeah, Markhan42 was talking about it a little bit on stream. I have a tweet in case people are interested. Yeah, I mean this person they had their Mac Mini since December 2020, and 10% of their SSD life has been used, and it's written 165 terabytes, and read 172 terabytes from disk.
Yeah, how do I get that? I couldn't figure out how to do that.
Yeah, actually Markhan put the command. You use SmartMon tools, and then you can use SmartCTL to read it from disk 0. So that's how they got that in the terminal.
Smart, because I tried.
I'll send you the tweet on Discord in case you're interested for later on.
Yeah, let me try to move a terminal here.
Also, what the heck is dark mode doing with Twitter here? It is not having a fun time. All right.
Let's see. Oh, okay. SmartMon tools. Yeah, I'm installing these.
Which is the difference between yours and Slearsgovy's exploit?
Well, his works. Ours doesn't.
His works on FreeBSD PC. It doesn't work on PS4, which is why I'm like kind of wanting to avoid doing that strategy. But
so in some sense, they're same because they both don't work on PS4. All right, so I have 8 terabyte written and 7 terabyte written and 8 terabyte read on my. It's an Intel machine though.
Spectre is now in the Slearsgovy rabbit hole. What do you mean by that, Zeko? I need you to elaborate a little bit more on what you mean there. Do you mean we're in the same position that he's in? Oh, we know how Slurskovi's POC works. We're pretty sure. We figured it out last stream. Why, like, what we were missing. And Teamstar's actually working on that strategy right now to see if he can get it to work through the releasing of the zone.
Could increase buffers.
But yeah, Teamstar's POC, as far as I know, he hasn't been able to make it work on PS4 yet, and that's because of. So maybe
people quoting in chat.
So let me go through a little bit of why Slurskovi's having trouble. I think obviously I haven't really talked to him, so this is speculation on my part, but
I think that he is doing a approach like a suboptimal approach. Like I want to do like get same where he's going, but like with a different approach.
Okay. So what Slurskovi is doing is, in order to get full control over the M buff, he's getting the M buff zone re-released to the general allocator. That way you can get full control over every byte of the M buff, which is awesome if you can get it to work. The problem is you have to meet multiple conditions in order to get that zone released back to the general allocator. For one, you have to get every single M buff in that page to be released. For two, you have to apply a lot of memory pressure so that it forces the GC, as it were, to release everything back.
You don't though.
What you don't for what? Have to apply a lot of memory pressure?
Yeah, I'm not sure why he's doing that. I know that at least on XNU, you don't need to apply a lot of memory pressure. And besides, just the fact that we're applying memory pressure doesn't mean we can't do that on like lower memory. Like if you have less RAM to work with in the first place, that means you have high pressure faster.
Right. But with the PS4, where it's the unified memory model, they're like Sony might have made changes to the allocator. To be honest, I haven't seen them, but it's possible that they're there.
Which sounds like that we will trigger pressure even faster. Honestly.
Yeah. The other like thing that's worthy to note here is PS4 page size is 4 times bigger than what you would get on a typical system. On a typical system, 64-bit system, you're going to see a hex 1000 page size, 4096 bytes. But on the PS4, it's hex 4000. It's 16 kilobyte pages. So you have less pages to work with in less memory, which makes it harder to...
It's literally what iPhones are. They have like the same page size and they don't even have as much memory.
iPhones have 4K pages? Or, sorry, 16K pages?
16K. Yeah, starting with, I think, the iPhone 7 or something.
Interesting. I never knew that.
You have 16K pages. And they don't even have, like, that much RAM as far as I remember. Let me check. iPhone 7 RAM has 3 gigs. 2 gigs. So I don't see how that is an issue.
I'm wondering if it's something to do with the PS4's unified memory model, where it shares memory with the GPU. I could see them changing something that would maybe add interference with that exploit strategy, but
I feel like you're making up stuff. How's your exploit going?
I've mostly been talking to Chad and explaining things, so I haven't advanced too much on that. Why does PS4 use an Apple kernel? It doesn't. The PS4, so the XNU kernel. Thank you for the sub, XVBegVX. I think that's the best I'm gonna do. I think on that name. But thank you for the Twitch Prime. Welcome in. No, XNU uses BSD networking stack, and the PS4 uses BSD, so there's overlap. But it's not that the PS4 is running like XNU or anything. Sorry, so yeah, I've been a little bit distracted. I will get back to my trying to work out my strategy here. So
if I want to do some function, I just syscall this underscore then the function, then that's it.
If you want to call a userland function, do p.fcall.
I want to like set sock opt, which is probably
that's a
syscall.
syscall. Yeah. So you can do the sysset sock opt syscall from that. Yeah.
I need to do malloc shit. If I do p.malloc and I want to do p.write on it, do I need to do the add 32 or can I do like without add anything if I want to just write at the start?
If you just want to write at the start, you don't have to use add 32. Add 32 essentially just takes the starting pointer and then adds whatever and returns that address pretty much.
Okay. So this will be n. This will be 4. I highly doubt that works.
Okay. I don't know if this strategy is going to work, but this is what I'm going to go with. So I'm going to try running the double free on one thread. So one mbuff gets allocated with an extended header. And then, or actually without, sorry. Or actually, yeah, sorry, it would be with an extended header. And then in between, so after that gets freed, rather. So basically, I want to run thread 2 in between these two and see what happens. See if I can trigger some corruption there. I'm hoping the strategy works out so we don't have to resort to the zone shenanigans that Teamstar is working on, but we'll see. I might be totally off my rocker here.
I feel like you're hating.
I'm not hating. I'm just skeptical on the... Like... Part of it is honestly from the meta point of view. I know Slearsgovey's been working hard to try to get this working, and it's been a little while since he finished that POC to get it working on his VM. So it makes me wonder if that strategy will even work on the PS4. Like, I'm thinking there might be...
Can you
I
run
can
a
run
test?
a test, yeah.
Okay, so sysset sock op didn't work.
What did you get?
Is that too large? I get just Fs. Is that too large? Is there a limit on how much I can go?
Let me take a quick look at how you're calling it. See if I can help you out a bit here.
Oh, okay, there's my stream. Okay.
Oh, I feel like there
that
might have been a
should be
limit
good.
on the size you could pass. For what it's worth, you can also print out Erno. I think I have Erno in the, like, higher up in the file you're working on, so you should be able to do a p.read8 or a p.read4 on the Erno variable.
Can you dump that real quick for me?
I'm just putting it on line 620. You would just do something like oh, sorry, like that. That's all you need to do to get the Erno value. So that would probably help you out a little bit in debugging it. So yeah, one mbuff gets freed.
Okay, retry please.
Yep. Oh, sorry, one sec. My browser is stuck for some reason. There we go.
Yeah, cause there was shit stuck. Erno 9. Fuck is Erno 9?
So the mbuff gets freed.
Sharp just no 9. Bad file descriptor? Wait, what? Oh, damn it. I forgot to pass in the file descriptor.
Also, what if testing on 5.05 isn't the way? I mean, I don't know why I would want to test on a higher firmware that's less stable that I don't have debugging on. That just sounds like making something that's already difficult more difficult for no reason. Teams start going to test to how shitty it is to test on higher firmware.
Oh, yeah. Rerun, please. Okay, set suck up worked. Actually, I played yesterday The Forest on PS4, but like the Steam version in Linux. It was kind of playable. It was
Wait,
playable,
which game was this,
yeah.
sorry?
The Forest.
It sounds familiar, but I can't match it up to anything.
So basically, you're like in a plane crash and you land on an island, and then you can like run around and craft shit. You need to figure out how you got there, and there's like weird half-naked people who live there trying to kill you.
Oh, I feel like I've seen gameplay from that before, now that I think back on it. It's like a survival, yeah, okay.
Oh, perfect. So I do get much more packets now, so that shit worked. Oh shit, how many packets did I do? I think I did a little lot packets.
So I have the race strategy worked out of what I want to try. It will be stupid tight though. Because I need the race to hit after the type is checked, but before the code inside of the case is ran. So we're talking like a few instructions between of a race window, which might not be viable. That said, I think it would be safe to lose it. I think, but it's hard to tell.
Is the browser crashed or something, or is it still hanging?
Nope. I can run a test for you. Sorry, I just might not have heard you ask for a test.
No, I was just asking if the browser was hanging or if it
Oh no,
crashed.
it was on the white page. It was good.
Okay, so there is still a limit, which is higher. Let's see. Okay, do you know what the size of one mbuff is?
I feel like I had it documented somewhere, but do I have it? I don't have it in the strat file. Might have to recalculate it.
Oh wait, is that in the strat file?
I have the layout of the structure in the strat file. Yeah.
Where is that?
It's the underscore strat.txt.
I think I just can copy and paste that shit onto my Mac and then just run that. Makes shit so much easier.
Yeah, it's 256, I think, because it takes 256 and subtracts the header size. So, or for the length of the data buffer. So,
what is m_HDR_pad?
It can be either 6 or 2, depending on if LP64 is defined, which I'm not entirely sure what that macro is.
It's whether that's a 64-bit system.
That's what
so
I was
it should be
guessing, but I wasn't totally sure. So yeah, it should be 6 then. How do I buy you a coffee? You don't need to worry about buying me a coffee. Don't worry. I've actually got like a shit ton of Tim Hortons cards, so I'm all good.
Oh, you can buy me a coffee. There's my Patreon. You can buy me a Club Mate or a Pizza
There
Hawaii.
You go. Team Star would love a coffee.
Is MLAN 256?
MLAN is 256 minus the header size. So I think that means the mbuff will be 256 all the time, pretty much.
P size of mbuff struct. Okay, fuck it. I will assume this is 256. I hope shit doesn't go terribly wrong. So this is OX100 then. OX100. So the page size is OX4000.
It's hex 4000, yeah.
Yeah. So which means we have 64 mbuffs per page. Which is good. So that is reasonable.
So do you want me to switch over? So what do you have worked out here? Oh, 64 mbuffs per page. Okay.
Yeah, so which means we can first alloc. So I also figured there is a limit for receiving the packets, which is like OX300. I think that just the browser times out for that, so it might actually be more. Oh yeah, is there like? Do you think it times out?
In your tests, sorry, did you reach the we reach the end printout?
No, here it ended at OX333.
Ah, right, okay.
So I'm wondering if it's actually limitation how much is buffered, which is fine, or whether it's a timeout issue, which may be a bigger problem, but potentially not. Oh, I can verify with that. If I remove the sleep and get the longer number, then it may be timeout. Can you rerun?
Yep. We're at 35% battery level. Might have to plug in the controller soon, but it's all good. It looks like you didn't get past your send though.
No, it just takes
okay,
forever. Cause the send is like forever.
So yeah, my plan is to run the double free, and in between
Periodic check interval 420. Nice, Sony.
Man, this is gonna be tough to test, but I'm gonna give it a go.
There it goes.
So I do have to quickly pull the threading function because I don't have it readily available. I'll have to go back to slightly older one here.
Okay, it's again stopped at 333, so it may be a limit there, but that's fine.
Actually, do I? Oh, I do have spawn thread. I just need the code around it, so. That would be in this file, I think. Actually, it might be another one.
Oh, wait. I can't measure allocation. How does Slayer's Govy measure allocation time? User lens spray. Well, we can do spray and pray.
Sorry, spray and pray. What were you mentioning there?
Yeah, so basically in my other exploit on the Apple Watch, for instance, I used a primitive. I can actually show you if we switch over to my stream.
Yep, I can do that.
Jailbreak time.
Oh.
Extension jailbreak.m, and here we have jailbreak. Oh, it's actually in Vortex. Vortex.m. Okay, so.
Sorry, no dark mode, so.
Yeah, screw dark mode.
My eyes. They burn.
Here it is. My MagZone Force GC. This is not what I was looking for. Oh, here it is. Basically, here, that's the. Which one is it? Alloc time.
Somebody asked, what can you even do with a jailbroken Apple Watch?
Yeah, I don't know. I fucked it up so quickly that I don't even had time to do anything useful with it. Like I installed SSH, got SSH working, and then I was like, hey, I want to try to do a tweak, and then I installed like Mobile Substrate, which is like the hooking framework, but I fucked up really badly, and then the watch boot looped. And with the watch, it's different from iPhones where you can just like connect to the PC and restore. That you can't do with the watch. So eventually, I had to go to the Apple Store and be like, yeah, listen, the update failed, so you gotta restore it. But turns out at the Apple Store, they don't have the special cable either. So they had to take the watch, send it to one of their, I don't know, like other locations where they do that shit, and then install the software there and then send it back. So it was a terrible experience. Because like if it doesn't boot, there's like literally nothing you can do. Like I even have the cable, but there's no publicly available firmware, so you can't even just download and install the firmware even if you have the cable.
I don't know what happened. Please fix it. Yeah.
Yeah, basically what they're gonna tell you, well, you fucked with your Apple Watch, how they gonna know? I'll be like, oh, I did this update thing and now it doesn't turn on. Like, whatever.
Yeah, that's one thing I never really
Anyways,
understood with Apple stuff is like they say, oh, if you try to jailbreak your device, you void the warranty. It's like, okay, I'll just back up and restore it then. Like, I don't know, like how would they even know? In many cases, I don't know.
yeah, I don't think they even like people at the Apple Store. They aren't trained for that to like unless it's like really obvious. They wouldn't care. Anyways, what I wanted to show you, and you already switched away. Basically,
Sorry, my viewers wanted a
they're
reprieve from the light mode. The power of the light was too
oh,
much.
I see. I can lower my screen brightness if that helps.
No, that won't come through on
Can
stream,
you
I don't think.
can you see that I'm lowering
No.
it? Does the pop-up show on stream? No. Okay. Basically, I measure time and then I do an allocation, and then I get the. Oh yeah, you can see that light thingy.
I can see it, but it's not actually doing anything. Like it's.
Yeah, I know. That's the prank though. So basically, you take the time, then you do an allocation, and then you take the time again, and actually, it should be
Right, so this is where you side channel the allocator to see if it released its own.
Exactly. And then if it takes a certain amount of time, you know that the allocator runs. So there's a peak in time. I don't really see where I do actually the peak check, but there is definitely a peak check somewhere. T1, T0. Yeah, but that's kind of the idea. So now my issue is since my allocation primitive is sending UDP packets, you cannot time UDP packets because there's no like allocation time for sending UDP packets. So I'm wondering how else to do that. So Slayer's Govy also does timing. But I'm not entirely sure what he does. Maybe you have an idea by looking at that.
Let me see if I can find out really quick. This is the one I'm looking for, I think. So CTL VM total. So that's checking the virtual memory.
Yeah, if you can take a look at that, that would be nice. I will just like implement my general idea if you don't mind.
Yeah, for sure. I'll take a look. So that's in his userland spray function, yeah?
Yeah, so where he takes like times, so the timing is the
I don't think he's taking times, actually. I think he's taking information about virtual memory.
But he literally he literally looks at timing here.
No, I don't think that's timing. I think that's the virtual memory stats. Because the sysctl he's sending is CTL VM, which gives you like the total virtual memory used, the free minimum. Like it gives you information about the VM basically. So yeah, it's not timing. It's rather the memory usage information.
Okay, all right. What about time vault T1 and T2? Does he even use that? Oh, he probably doesn't even use that.
They're probably leftovers from old code.
Okay, there's this idea. Can you use this syscall to figure out? Well, I mean, obviously you can use the syscall to figure out how much memory is allocated and how much memory is freed, right? So I'm wondering if you send a bunch of packets and then look at how much memory is allocated. Then you free a bunch of packets, like receive a bunch of packets, and then check again, and then it potentially stays the same because the garbage collector didn't run. And then you do something hoping to make the garbage collector run, and then you should be able to observe this, right? So does that tell you essentially how much is free and how much is allocated?
I believe that's what it's doing, yeah. One thing I would test, though, before going through with that is check that you can actually use sysctl from the browser, because that seems like something they would lock down. I could totally see them, like, not, like... I could see you getting an EPERM or something when you call that.
Okay, first thing, what I probably want to check is how do I even use that shit on Mac? Like, because I don't even know how to.
Yeah, I'll send you the sysctl man page, but I don't know how that translates over to Mac. I wanted to pull something I saw a little bit ago in chat with if you learn Rust slang, Gamoza might help you out. I will say, I've actually been checking out some of Gamoza Lab's streams lately, and he's been doing some cool stuff. He's kind of inspiring when it comes to the fuzzing space. I don't totally agree with all the like takes or whatever, but I mean that's just how it is, right? He's like really focused on performance-driven fuzzing, like trying to get the highest performance possible, which that's where I kind of have a little bit of disagreement. But yeah, he definitely does some cool streams. I would definitely recommend people check him out if they're looking for somebody to watch. And he talks about like some life experiences too. Like I remember he was talking about like finding a job and resume stuff the other day, and it's pretty insightful, man. I liked it. So yeah, I've got kind of my strategy worked out. I have another one that I kind of want to have in backup, which is run double free, run receives, and then thread 2 runs here. To spray. That's what I'm kind of thinking there, but that's my backup, I guess. So yeah, I've got this. Let me copy this over to my other notepad, and we'll get on to trying to implement that, because I haven't really done that yet. I haven't done too much on that front. I will copy this and modify it. I'll have to do that before I trigger the double free. Okay, so this is our racing thread. Ask Teamstar why I should pay more than $2 for Patreon. I mean, the thing with you just donate however much you want.
Yeah, you don't really need to donate in first place, but like if you feel like donating, you could. I mean, you can.
Yeah. So the current thing in this thread is an ioctyl spray, which will not work for mbuffs, but the spray packet stuff we set up will. So let me just get that primitive really quick. I think we use send packet, and that sends it on the spray socket UDP. I think I kept the setup code, but let me just verify that. I did. So we'll do a send packet. So that's in here. So we're going to make it call. Actually, yeah, we're working with raw ROP chains, so we can't exactly do that. I'm going to have to retrofit it. So send packet. That's the definition. We'll make that work to a ROP chain. This is going to be fun. It's been a while since I've directly written a ROP chain and not used the helper functions. All right.
Well, what are you using ROP for?
Because when the way the multi-threading works with how we do it in WebKit, we do it through a ROP chain. So, feet picks at what tier? I think that's a question for you, Teamstar.
What?
Feet picks at what tier for Patreon?
What pics?
Feet.
Feet pics?
Yeah.
Feet. I remember the one time a picture of my hand leaked, and then the Reddit made like memes of it. Yeah, just Google Teamstar hand leak.
This took a weird turn from exploitation to feed pics. I mean, the overlap of the reverse engineering and exploitation community with feed pics is pretty large. So
Reddit. Teamstar hand Reddit. Oh yeah, authentic photo of Teamstar's hand. Please use for future memes.
sometimes the iOS community is a little bit too much drama for me, but that's pretty good.
I bet it is pretty authentic because I'm wearing that watch right now.
Doxed.
Can you type in VM_total in Watson? I can't find where that shit is defined. VM meter.
Yeah, it's in VM param.
What is it?
It's just defined as 1.
As 1, thanks.
I just sent the other constants over to you in case you need them. All right, I'm just taking a look at the available gadgets I have for setting up the write properly in the ROP chain. I think I need this part in there.
I don't know how this works.
So for arbitrary write, we have RDI and RSI. So we can do pop RDI. Just make sure this is not it's not already defined, right? Yeah, okay, good.
All right, so this syscall does not work on macOS.
Okay.
Or sysctl.
Give it a try on, like, write it into your PS4 exploit JavaScript, and I'll run a test for you to see if you can actually access it in the browser, because I'm very skeptical that you can. Wait, so if your Spectre wears Meltdown? They're on break. Try to keep chat English, guys. Please, if possible. I was going to make it right to the buffer inside of the ROP chain, but I actually don't need to do that. That's probably a waste of time. I can just do it outside of the ROP chain. Or outside of the thread. Okay, so... scroll back up here. So we're going to do a syscall with send2, so spray socket UDP. In RSI, we need to put spray data buff. In RDX, we need the size, I believe, which I'll put it here, spray data. Let's go like this. We'll make it all dynamic and fancy. Okay, the rest are zeros, so that's fine. I can leave that as it is. I need the syscall index.
How do I do that? P syscall sysctl?
Yes. P.syscall, and then the string is sys_sysctl. Let me just make sure it's actually defined in here. Oh, it's actually okay. The way it's defined in the JavaScript is a little bit weird, so I'll paste it over to you. That's the string.
Yeah, can you paste it in?
All right, Z's starting to lay down the law in chat. So keep it English warnings or at an end. Keep it English or your messages are going to get deleted, and you're probably going to get timed out if you keep doing it. So I need send to, which is 133.
You didn't copy it to me, did you?
I believe I did. Yeah. Yeah, I sent it in DMs
Where?
on Discord.
Oh wow!
Yeah, sorry, I just thought about that. I should have just put it in the the JS file. It's because we had so many streams where we were passing stuff through Discord, so sometimes I forget that we had the integration set up. It's easy to forget there. So this has the send to set up. Send to
2 and 1, 2.
Okay, so that's 1.
0, 4. So this is MIPS 2.
I think it's run. Let me just double check that my. Oh, it's just called as a pointer. Okay, like that. Right. Okay. I might have to adjust this because this might be too noisy for the race, but we'll give it a shot and see what happens, I think. So yeah, I'm gonna test. And see what happens. We reached the end. Okay, did we do anything bad? We probably did because we triggered the UAF. Yeah, we hung. Why is Slears Gobi not with you? He works on his own, or I mean, he might work with his own group, but yeah, I don't work with Slears Gobi. Although he does contribute a lot to the PS4 toolchain, but on exploitation stuff, I don't really talk to him on that front. So I had to reboot the system. People on the stream are probably excited because this is the first time we're doing a beep in the entire stream.
I think I can test next.
Okay.
I'm wondering. Oh, I heard a beep. I'm wondering how many views I have.
We're getting lots of beeps on this one.
34. This is the most interesting stream I've ever done.
I think your Linux one had more, didn't it? Your Linux one had.
Oh yeah,
I think it had around 100 or something when we did it.
I don't remember. To me, every viewer is equally important.
Damn, hitting right in the feels. I mean, I always like that philosophy of like thinking of how many viewers you have on a live stream of like if they were real people in like a auditorium or something. It's a cool analogy.
Yeah, I mean, if like people, I've done streams before where I had like less than 10 viewers and I streamed anyways.
Yeah, for sure.
It was like Resident Evil, but I was like, whatever.
You mean like CCC or DEF CON? Yeah, you could think of it like that too, with how many people would come to your talk, although that's a lot more structured, and whereas the streams are like free-flowing. We don't have slide decks, unfortunately. No slide decks.
Actually, when I did like a couple talks, I was somewhat disappointed because of the audience. Like, I was like super excited to speak in front of a bunch of people, and then like less people than I expected showed up. But like, I realized a lot of people don't actually go to the talks but watch them online. So having the recording is like super important.
Yeah. That's actually a mistake that I made, and is a common like first timer mistake that Z warned me about. Is with conferences, uh, people generally don't want to go to the talks. They want to like do the more socially interactive stuff because you can watch the talks later, like you were saying online. When I
Yeah.
went to DEF CON my first year, I did try to go to quite a few talks, and I did enjoy it because I went with some friends and we were able to like talk and shit while it was going on. But
Mm.
yeah, I can totally see how you would see like a lower audience count just because unless it's like some super interesting like iOS O Day talk or something, which I don't know if maybe that's what you were doing, but um, unless it's one of those
Oh, I
major
actually
headlining talks, I don't see
never
many
had.
people in there.
Actually, I've never had O days because I was like, I never bothered to look for O days.
I mean, if I was doing iOS stuff, I don't know if I'd bother. It'd probably die within like a month or two with Project Zero.
I mean, I mean, did you ever have O days for PS4?
Um, Let me think.
You don't need to answer if you don't want to.
Yeah, I did have one. Actually, the first flow bug that like the earlier one that people are using that you're using right now on 6.72 actually. I
Hmm?
Me and another person found that independently. And we got collision with them. I think Flow collided with me and like two or three other groups of people on that bug. So, yeah,
Oh.
it was kind of funny. But that's just the nature of PS4 because your attack surface is going to be quite limited from browser. Flo said you've made huge progress. He also took 3 weeks to get to exploit. I mean, yeah, this is a tough bug. I thought it was going to be easy, but it's not. I had to put the clown makeup on when we figured out how Sliersgovi's POC worked. So I was like, oh shit, okay.
Oh yeah, just given the fact that it took us like 5 streams or something like that to figure out how this POC
Yeah, it
works.
took us 4 streams to get the full like context. Yeah.
I actually pasted my
Okay,
exploit
so you're good
next.
for me
Are
to
you ready
test.
to
Yeah.
test?
All right.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, but it didn't
Air
work.
node 2. That
Air
might
node 2.
be one of the permission based air nodes.
No such file directory.
Oh, wait a minute.
Did I fuck up?
Um, I thought I had Sliersgovi's POC on a different screen, but I don't. Let me bring this up on another stream or on another screen. Sorry, just so I can see. Try to compare yours with what he has.
Oh, I have actually the same error on my Mac. Did I fuck up?
You're passing
So
MIBs to VM total. V2, which is
CTL VM total CTL VM is 2 and VM total you said is 1, which is MIPS to memory size.
so. What I'm thinking might be happening is this CTL might be going to use a special file, like one of those sys directory files or whatever, and where we're sandboxed, that might be why it's saying ENON. Let me just look at the.
I mean, I cannot run that on my Mac either. I'm wondering if that's a me problem.
Do FreeBSD. Oh, what the hell happened here? Okay, I was looking at the wrong thing, so it might be in this one.
Wait, isn't there like a command line thing? sysctl a. Oh shit. What is that? How is that thing called?
There is a sysctl command line utility. I haven't really used it, so you'd have to look up usage.
LVM dot total or something. A grab VM.
Yeah, I'm thinking it might be the case where on the PS4 it's not there or something. Are you gonna need me to test within the next minute or so? Because I want to rerun my test to see if I get a different result.
Oh, you can rerun your test. I'm just trying to figure out. CTL.
Damn. I think it's going to do the same thing as last time, where it's just going to hang on the exit. Yep. Same thing. All right. So, fun fact about the PS4, I don't remember. I think I might have briefly mentioned it last stream. But when I had to like take it apart to fix it and resolder the UART wires, I never bothered to put the shroud back on. And the LED, like the power LED on the system, is actually stupid bright without the shroud on it to like mitigate and focus the light into the strip. So my entire wall behind my like up and behind my monitors is just like flashing blue right now. Both the sound and the light, it's actually crazy how much the shroud mitigates it. Yeah, I think if you guys keep spamming chat with other languages, we're gonna start timing people out because it's getting a bit crazy in there. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I tried to figure out. Is that maybe root only?
It shouldn't be, but does Scovey run his POC as root on FreeBSD? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
I think he had a video on his Twitter when he ran it. Let me just see if.
It's the. Oh, that account can't be root.
Yeah, he runs it as root. That's interesting. Oh, I guess he would have to on FreeBSD because raw sockets are usually root only. It's just on the PS4 where they're not. So that might be why he ran it as root. But he might not realize, or maybe he did realize, but I don't know. Yeah, it's probable that the sysctl won't work in the browser sandbox because of the sandboxing. I think it tries to open a special file which you can't access inside sandbox. So you might not be able to have that side channel, unfortunately.
I will test real quick if it is actually root. How do I set up?
It might not be a permission thing with like root versus non-root. It might just be the sandbox and not having access to the file system that sysctl uses. That's what I'm thinking is the problem. All right, so back to my strategy for a second. I'm just getting a hang on what I was trying here. There is one more thing I can try to try to get this to work. It's going to be a bit strange, but what I'm going to do is kind of do what I did with the 5.05 exploit and run it all in one chain for the double free trigger and see if that makes a difference. So let me just bring that up really quick on another screen so I can reference that kind of. All right. So
this is so weird because it doesn't even run if I run it as root.
So first, we call the first syscall. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So, huh. I mean, I could try doing it blind.
What's the harm done if you don't use the side channel? Would be my question, I guess.
I mean, then the reliability goes down because essentially you want to use the side channel to figure out once when the page got released, so you can quickly reallocate it. But if that either never happens or yeah, because if you know it like kind of exactly when the page gets released, you can then try to reallocate it fairly quickly. But if you don't know when that happens, you have less control over it.
Okay, I kind of see what you're saying there.
I mean, I will try just to spray and pray.
Okay, let me look at this really quick. So RDI goes to socket, RSA goes to packet 1, RDX goes to packet 1 length, RCX goes to 0, R8 goes to address, R9 goes to address length. Okay. And then we're going to copy that and change this to packet 2 length, 0 address length. Okay, right. And then we want to copy over the trigger to start the second thread.
How do I do arrays in JavaScript? How do I append something to array?
Sorry, what are you asking about?
I have an array. How do I append shit?
Oh, I think you can just like set the element as if it like yeah, like that, and then put I in there. Yeah.
That. Can I do dictionary? And I want to like 2 elements, like 1, 2.
Yep, I believe so. If you change RSOX to something like this, I think, and then yeah, I think that should work. If JavaScript
Okay,
memory serves.
Never ever figure that out.
Oh shit! Did I? Oh, I did my progress on userland, the scratch file.
Okay. Yeah, that happened to me too.
I fixed that. Right, and then I want to put the other thread trigger in there, so that's going to be yeah, that just writes the interrupt to make the thread go, which should work, I think. Yeah, and then we just run the race. Okay, I've got something to test. Hopefully it doesn't blow shit up, but it probably will. Rather, let me rephrase that. Hopefully it blows shit up in the right way. Because I do want it to panic. I just want it to panic with the right information. I'm pretty sure what you're doing now is the answer, Spectre, the side channel thing.
We're not doing side channels. Are we?
No, I'm a little bit confused too. Can you reword that, Zeko? I'm a little bit confused on what you mean there. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna try my strategy here. Yeah, what I'm trying to do, Zeko, is just run a race of trying to hit in between the double free path to try to get control through the free. I don't know if it'll work. It's not looking like it'll work. Although I am running the spray threats, so that might be why I'm not returning. Race condition? Yeah. I'm trying to do a race on the double free to see if I can get anything to happen there. Not seeing anything though. Oh, we didn't crash the kernel, which is kind of cool. Means I get the test again.
Are you sure this is how it works?
What do you mean? How what works?
The double array thingy.
Let me check out yours.
Kind of doubt that. I think it should be like that.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I was thinking of a different language where you do that. Yeah, it is the single brackets, but then you can just assign arrays into the elements. Yeah. I just looked up a example to confirm. There has to be a reason why the Flow's PS4 code only has 20% reliability. I don't have the Flow's PS4 version. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, you can't really judge by that, because I mean, he only has to do a POC to give to Sony and get his money, so he doesn't really care about reliability. So as soon as his works, he can get money and that's it. So there's really no reason for him to try to make it like 100% or 80% reliability is if it ends up just having to run once, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't think that he can't make it better if he try to. I feel like there's like really no need for him to try to make it better.
So it seems possible that I'm not even triggering the double free anymore with my changes because I'm not crashing at all. So,
all right, I'm gonna take like a 2-minute break, and then I will try to do the double free as well.
Yep, no worries. Go ahead. All right. Do I have a mistake in here is my question. Oh, yes, I do have a mistake. Of course I'm not triggering the bug. Oh boy. I never pushed in the syscall into the ROP chain. What was the index of that again? That was 133. I was setting up the arguments and I wasn't doing anything with them. All right. So that should be good because that adds the syscall for send to. Okay. Hopefully this time we see something interesting. How is going today? It's going good. Teamstar and I are trying different strategies. I'm trying a race on the double free, and he's trying to force the allocator to release the page to the general allocator to make it easier to hit. So I triggered the double free, just not in the way I wanted. I triggered the SB free panic, so all good. Didn't expect it to work first try, essentially.
Actually, before I do the spray, I should probably check if I can do pipes. How do I do pipes? Jailbreaked pipe. Did I not?